Today is Saturday, which means that I don't have anything obligatory to do today. That means that I can fully commit myself to this video, and that is why I am so happy. And the subject of being happy and excited for something brought to my mind the fact that I think most of us interested in minimalism can agree on is that decluttering can become extremely satisfying and just extremely enjoyable. What I mean by that is that decluttering can become extremely much fun. I think that is a very common phenomenon that you might have experienced as well. I for sure have experienced it, that you start decluttering, you are enjoying it. After a while, you are taking it as a hobby, kind of, and you get addicted to it over time. And the only problem is when you realize that you don't have anything to declutter anymore, and that is where the problem starts. What are you doing with your free time and your free space? This is the subject that I want to talk about today because I thought about this a lot, and I think I have a good solution, or a kind of good solution, to avoid decluttering becoming not fun. So let's break down the situation. What can you do so that decluttering still can be the very positive activity that you are focusing more and you are cleaning your life from the excess stuff that has accumulated over the years? You don't feel bad about the fact that you are done, that afterwards you will feel positive as well. So let's start with the first step. You start decluttering. Let's start with the fact that I am a big fan of decluttering. I have been since the age of 10, approximately the age of 10. I just remember from my childhood when I had a lot more stuff, stuffed animals and books that I wasn't using, that were just hand-me-downs and just kept accumulating over the years. And that is where my passion for decluttering comes from, is that I would spend days and days just decluttering my room and rearranging the stuff that I kept, and even rearranging the furniture sometimes. And I remember it being a very good feeling, and remember that I felt I'd done something very useful today, and I felt more clear the next day in my mind. And in my opinion, it is natural to enjoy decluttering, because if you start decluttering, that means that you realized a problem in your life, and that is the solution for it, that you need decluttering. And if you need it, then you should enjoy it, because if you enjoy something that keeps you going, then you will be more successful at it, and you will be more efficient with what you're doing. So I don't even think that you have to feel bad about the fact that you are on the path of cleaning your life from excess items or even excess activities. You are, I think, on the way of discovering something very good that you are actually interested in. I think just like you can even enjoy sometimes cleaning the apartment, then you can enjoy decluttering as well. The second step is when you are starting to do decluttering more. So that is when decluttering starts to become a habit, and if you have quite a lot of stuff or just excess items decluttering your apartment, then you have very much to do, and therefore it can even become a hobby and just a pastime activity that you are doing every day. And since it is useful and quite enjoyable, you can get addicted to the fact that you have done something that has been productive today. And there are methods that supposed to clean out almost everything from your life that you don't really like or need. The KonMari method is just about that, as I have read. The KonMari method is about keeping only the things that you actually need and that bring you joy. But I was never brave enough to declutter only based on that and to declutter as suddenly, and therefore my decluttering has been going on for a longer period of time. I don't mind it actually, because I feel that I am discovering a lot about myself over time. In my opinion, you don't have to rush these things. You just have to do what feels good in your life and that you are feeling that is beneficial to you. So for me, this longer decluttering has helped a lot to discover what I really like and what I really don't like in my life. The final stage is when you feel like you have decluttered everything. Now, the problem with that is, what is it that you can do now? By the way, this final stage is not necessarily final. What I found is that sometimes I felt like I have decluttered everything and there is no more that I can get rid of, that I absolutely need everything that I own. But after 2 weeks, I might have realized that there were actually a lot more things that I could get rid of, or even just groups of items that I realized that I don't need anymore. So what I mean by that is you don't have to be actually afraid of finishing your decluttering, because there is always the risk of being exposed to more stuff or just getting new stuff, and that is when you have to be mindful about keeping your minimal space minimal. So decluttering is a going on activity and you don't have to be afraid of it being completely over. However, over time, obviously, you won't need as much time to declutter because you have a lot less stuff. That is the problem, that is the contradiction, that you have a new hobby, decluttering, but your goal is not having to deal with the stuff that you have got rid of, and therefore your goal is contradictory to what you are experiencing, that decluttering is becoming your hobby that you are always doing. I think the most important thing that you can do is, just like with any other activity that provides you with free space and time, because that is what decluttering is actually doing, and that is what minimalism is all about, freeing your space and mind from excess in order to do something that you actually want and something that you actually find is better for you on the long term. So the best thing you can do in these situations is that you write down what you will want to do with your free time and space. With your free space, I mean not to refill it with new stuff, but to be able to enjoy fully that you have created this free space. With your free time, you have to realize over this journey that you are going through what your goals actually are and what you like. Because if you write down these activities that over the time you have realized that you really want to do, then you have a higher chance of being able to just remember it actually, and being able to realize them after you have your free time and free space for them, and you have finished or almost finished decluttering. Decluttering is not really finished ever. So don't be afraid of losing that really satisfying feeling of being able to declutter stuff and keeping your space neat and tidy. That, I think, is a really productive and positive solution to this contradiction. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I have given you some useful tips, or just given you the feeling of not being alone in this situation, because I, as I said, am also in this situation sometimes. That is all I had to say today. Enjoy your Saturday or whatever day it is that you are watching this. Thank you for watching.